to know the procedure used to perform the Nick brake test and the results derived from the test.
The Nick brake test is a simple but effective method of determining the soundness of weld metal. It can easily be done in the shop without expensive machining of test coupons. It is commonly used by some codes to qualify procedures and welders, such as the American Petroleum Institute Code for Transmission Pipelines.
The basic procedure of the test is to visually inspect a fractured surface for weld metal soundness. Discontinuities such as porosity, slag entrapment, lack of fusion, or other welding problems are evaluated.
There are two types of specimens, the end-notched and the all-around notched. Both are evaluated in much the same way. The end-notched specimen is the more common. All-around notched specimens are considered optional by some codes.
Like all destructive testing, the accuracy of the Nick brake depends largely on the care taken when preparing the specimen, although it is not as critical as in tensile and impact tests. The location from which the specimens are taken is generally the same as for guided bend specimens. When both are required from the same test coupon, they are taken side by side, as in the case of certain pipe qualifications.
Special attention must be given to the required dimension, types, number, and location of specimens. Published codes or company standards will dictate these requirements as they apply. The dimensions depend largely on the thickness of the test material and the governing specification. They are normally 1 inch wide and up to 9 inches long. The thickness equals the base metal thickness plus weld reinforcement.
All codes agree that the notch is prepared in the center of the weld. The depth of the notch may vary from one code to the next. It's usually about 1/8 inch deep and prepared by any suitable means. The portion between the two notches is the area of fracture and is normally required to be a minimum of 3/4 of an inch. Weld reinforcement is usually not removed in order that the entire groove weld size can be inspected. This would not be true of the all-around notch specimen, since the notch has removed a portion of the reinforcement.
When the specimens have been properly prepared to code requirements, they are broken. Any suitable means of breaking the specimen is acceptable, although proper attention to safety must always be considered. The specimens can be pulled in a tension test machine until broken by subjecting the center to a bending load, or by fixing one end and striking the other end with a hammer.
The specimen is then examined for porosity, inclusions, lack of fusion, and any other discontinuity that might cause poor soundness.
Lack of fusion may appear as a silvery line in the weld metal, which could open up during testing.
Porosity appears as round depressions in the fractured surfaces. Some codes allow no more than 6 gas pockets per square inch of weld metal, with the largest no greater than 1/16 inch.
Slag inclusions appear as non-metallic glass-like substances on the fractured surfaces. The applicable quality specification will provide dimensions for the amount of acceptable slag inclusion.
When the specimens have been evaluated, the results are recorded on the appropriate form. This could be a procedure qualification record or a welder qualification report.